My name is Labria Wilder. I am a fitness coach and a power lifter.
Hey, well done.
I got the whole Kyle. This is my coach Kyle. This is Isaiah. Hi.
I help women get stronger in their bodies, wanting them to look in the mirror and be able to love what they see. So that's my job. That's what I do and how I help women. At the beginning of March 2024, I was going through a very dark time. I felt like a failure as a mom. I felt like a failure in the workplace. It was very difficult for me. In all my relationships, I just felt like a failure across all aspects of life. And it was a very dark season for me, and I fell into a deep depression. For the first 2 days, I was in a very dark space. So much so that if anyone would have talked to me, I would have cried because that's just how low I was. But on that third day, I told myself that I don't want to be a failure. So I really wanted to prove to myself that I am not a failure. So one of the ways that I decided to do that was to get stronger. So I said, I'm going to show myself that I can get stronger. And I did that by picking up 2 dumbbells, going into my basement, and I worked out for 5 minutes. And I worked out for 5 minutes each day for about a couple weeks. Because at that point I was like, I don't want to do more than I can handle right now. So then after that, I increased the amount of minutes that I worked out. And then after that, I really fell in love with lifting weights and getting stronger. And I saw progress each week. So yeah, that's how that started. I was watching a YouTube video of an interview with, I believe his last name is Dr. Huberman, and David Goggins. And we know David Goggins, he's like, do hard things. And I watched that video around 7 times. So one, I kind of in some ways related to David Goggins. He talks about ADHD. He talks about going through this hard period, but he was talking about how that shouldn't be, just because you have these limitations, they should not stop you. It's all about challenging yourself and doing something very hard.
Like, you signed up without even having a coach.
100%. Yeah, I did. I had it in mind, but I didn't know if he was going to say yes.
What kind of faith? That is,
I didn't know.
That is...
I had an idea, but again, he could have been busy. Yeah. He could have been doing something else, but he said yeah after I signed up.
How important would you say is having your family by your side? Your fiance?
That is, I think support is very important because I'm grateful because people don't have support. So the fact that I had people to travel with me and be there with me, it's like, can't even describe the feeling. I'm just, I guess, bursting with gratefulness that I had. And my son too. My son came, and him being excited when I came down and seeing that I hit most of my lifts. Right now it's a feeling that I can't describe, but all I can say is that I'm just grateful, that they were there to witness and be with me in person. And I also had people watching me on the stream too, and they were texting me as they were going, as it was going. So I'm just grateful that they were there with me.
Was there any doubt, any self-doubt? I can't do this. So hard. Or anything that made you want to quit?
Not quit, no. Self-doubt coming into this competition, not day of. A couple days before, kind of. When you're going after something big, the devil try to come in, or you have imposter syndrome, or you have those thoughts can I even do this, But when I go back into my recollection of me hitting all my lifts and It's like I can go in there confident because I've been putting in the work since July. So then probably the day before, I started to be like, okay, Labrie, like you got this. And then when I walked in, I was like, oh, I got this. Going into any lift, I try to go in as confident as possible, saying that I'm going to get this lift up off the floor. So that's what I kept telling myself for each one. So starting with the confident number, I think helped a lot because once I did that lift, that told me like, do I have capacity for more? And then I was like, oh, I got it. So then going into the next lift, I'm already confident because I went in hitting that lift.
Come on, back through it. What was going through your mind on that last deadlift?
The 300.
Yeah, because that was like, we saw you do it.
Yeah, it took a minute. I was sticky at it's called when it's slow off the ground, it's called like your sticky point. I didn't even feel it come off the floor at first, but I just kept pulling. And once I get it up a certain point, I'm good. I usually can follow through. So I was telling myself, you just have to get it past this point, and then you got it. This was the first time my son has saw me in action. He knows that I go to the gym, but I go to a gym outside of the home. So this was like the first time of him seeing me actually lift heavy in person. I noticed that he wants to work out and he's like loving what I'm cooking. Also, he's like, I want to lift weights. He said this like a couple weeks ago. He's like, I want to lift weights. Like, I want to like lift heavy. And I was like, okay, you know, and I was just telling him like, you gotta be disciplined. Like you gotta put in the work. So it's definitely impacting him. And I can see that he's picking up on the little things and that he wants to take it further.
How important would you say is your relationship with God throughout this process and really throughout your life?
It's huge. Going into this prep, like with every lift, I try to make sure that I thank God for my body and what my body can do, because I wouldn't be able to do any of this without him, right? He gets all the glory. And going into this, just knowing that, yes, I'm strong, right? But there's the element of God being with me and making sure that I'm locked into my purpose, what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can only do that by having a relationship with God. Walking out on faith, like, is this it? So even going into powerlifting, yes, it was a moment of like me moving fast, but really connecting with him, like asking him to guide me, asking him like, is this the right step for me? And the only way to do that is to have a relationship with him. So it's the most important thing, because I wouldn't be able to do this without him.
This competition, is this a one-time thing, or do you see yourself doing this?
No, this is not going to be my last one. I think I found what I'm supposed to be doing. This was the meet to like confirm to me, like, is this what I want to continue doing? And yes, I did place, but that wasn't my goal. My goal was to like beat myself with every lift. And I came in first place. Yes, I did. But this meet was to confirm, like, if I wanted to like continue to do this, investing in gear, investing, continue investing in coaching, investing in what I'm doing, and that confirmed that I'm going to continue doing this, because I can't see myself doing anything else.
And that's cut. Thanks, guys.
Cut. Woo! Thank you.
Bill, you fired. Thank you. No more.